Welcome everybody to the CP Short, another drive edition. This time we are going to be doing a what we are reading, which we haven't done in a while, unfortunately, just due to being a little bit preoccupied with other things, i.e. football season and some other things coming up. But we wanted to get on one of these, as we just read through a really interesting book. One that I had been wanting to get to and get through to try and pull out as much as I could, and that is Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus, who is the owner and creator of ONNIT. If you haven't heard of ONNIT before, we highly recommend you at least go give them a look. They do a lot of really unique things in the supplement space, along with fitness space, some kettlebells that look like superheroes and werewolves and maces, and they really just take a whole different approach to human optimization, and also just kind of fitness and finding things that work, that are convenient and not necessarily your traditional barbell, dumbbell type exercises. So a lot of things there, some really interesting supplements. I think they do a really good job with that. I have not taken many of them, but I know people who rave about Alpha Brain, which is kind of their keynote one, their big one, their first one, and also it's kind of been verified to a degree in their partnership with XVI Sports Performance, who, if I'm going to follow many people in the industry and believe what they're telling me, XVI is definitely one of those companies. I think they do a great job vetting everything out. So anyway, check out ONNIT, but back to the book. So the theory behind the book is, if we want to go and try and make big changes in our lives, it's really hard to do that on a macro scale, because it's hard to maintain. If you try and change so many things at one time, we're not going to be able to maintain it. And that's a lot of things consistent with dieting. Trying to change everything all at once typically ends up in only being able to maintain it for a short duration, because it's just too much, because we are creatures of habit to some degree. So Aubrey's point was, if you can go and you can win one day, like one day at a time, one thing during the day, and then build on that, you can then go and make the gigantic changes you're going to need or want to make in your life, and not have it be something that you start it and relapse, start it and relapse, start it and relapse. So that was kind of the premise of it. And so with that, he basically goes through your entire day and gives you ideas that he's found to work for him. He puts a lot of science in it, which I think is really good. It's a lot of new and upcoming science, so there can be a lot of people that could disagree with it. But it isn't just his opinion. There is a lot of thought that goes into this, which I can respect. And again, you're just trying to find things that work for you. But it's simple as starting with his pre-morning cocktail of filtered water, sea salt, and lemon juice, just to start your process of rehydrating your body that day and making sure that you're replenishing anything that you potentially lost overnight. I have not done the weighing before in bed and when I wake up, but I know there are nights when I wake up and I know I was sweating, so I know I lost plenty of water. And so doing this first thing in the morning just basically gives my body a jump start into getting it back into a good hydrated state, to then try and get me to actually carry that on throughout the rest of the day, which is still a work in progress. He goes through there, he talks about breakfast and what the options are there, going on to having something more unique for lunch and staying away kind of from the traditional combinations of things, which can lead you to that mid-afternoon slump, or wants you to take that nap. So there's a bunch of different ideas that he throws in there, and then really gets into some of even the personal things in life, like relationships and sex, and how important all those things are, and how to look at how to maximize that, and what you and your partner need in order to get the most out of that. So I thought that was really interesting as well, along with dinner, and really getting down into sleep. And that is one that I am eagerly awaiting to get after here coming up in the near future, in the process of waiting on an Oura ring, which is a very fancy tracking device for just kind of your general fitness tracking and sleep and HRV and all these things, and it's a ring. And I'm really excited to see what that does as I'm trying to figure out how to tone up my day and kind of tune up my life. I think the one that I was really interested in listening to an episode on it was how you can see how simple things like different foods and also like alcohol can really jack with your heart rate and change your resting heart rate. And I'm very curious to see that and try a little bit of self-quantification here to see if I can really dial in some things to potentially help things go better. So that was really some interesting takeaways. I jotted down a bunch of notes on it. Maybe I can get some versions of those up without giving away too much of the book, because I really think it is worth checking out. Again, that's Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus. Great read. You can break it down into chapters, which is awesome. So you can, even if you didn't want to read it cover to cover, you can just pick a chapter that you think you want to work on trying to own, get that implemented into your life, and then progress from there. So again, highly recommend it. We'll link it up in the description. But really would recommend checking that one out for a couple of good ideas to get your life going and owning the day, not just trying to go after it all at one time. Have a good one, everybody.